Welcome to the Expensive Coins History channel, where we unlock the stories and hidden value behind America's most fascinating coins. Today, we explore a coin that, at first glance, appears completely ordinary, the 1966 Jefferson nickel. No mint mark. No flashy design. Just 5 cents of metal that millions of people once passed between their fingers without a second thought. But make no mistake. This coin hides an incredible story of mid-century change, production quirks, collectible scarcity, and the possibility of incredible value if the right version lands in your hands. So grab a magnifying glass, sit back, and join us as we uncover everything there is to know about the 1966 Jefferson nickel, from its history and rarity to its potential worth in the market today. To understand the 1966 Jefferson nickel, we have to step back into a chaotic period for American coinage. In the mid-1960s, the United States Mint was under pressure. Rising silver prices had caused a surge in hoarding and speculation, and many coins, especially those made of silver, were being pulled from circulation by the public. This created widespread coin shortages across the country. To address the crisis, the U.S. Mint made a number of decisions that would change coin production for years. From 1965 through 1967, the Mint temporarily removed mint marks from all coins. The goal was to discourage coin collecting and focus on keeping coins in circulation. That is why the 1966 Jefferson nickel has no mint mark, not because it's rare or an error, but because it was part of a nationwide policy decision. This also makes the 1966 nickel a snapshot of a unique moment in American monetary history. It is a product of both economic necessity and changing public habits. But despite being mass-produced, some 1,966 nickels carry characteristics that make them extremely desirable among collectors even today. The 1966 Jefferson nickel continues the classic design introduced in 1938. On the obverse, we see the left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. On the reverse, we find his Virginia home, Monticello, elegantly rendered with clean lines and subtle detailing. The coin is composed of a copper-nickel alloy, weighing 5 grams and measuring 21.2 millimeters in diameter. It features a smooth edge and was struck for circulation with a business strike finish. One interesting change introduced in the mid-60s was the inclusion of the designer's initials. Felix Schlag, the original artist behind the Jefferson nickel, had his initials added to the obverse of the coin for the first time in 1966. Prior to this, his initials had not appeared on the coin since its original debut, making 1966 the first year his work was formally credited on the coin face. The mintage of the 1966 Jefferson nickel was substantial. Over 150 million coins were produced, making this a very common issue in terms of overall numbers. Because mint marks were omitted during this period, all coins struck in 1966 appear without a mint mark, whether they were produced in Philadelphia or other facilities. On the surface, this may suggest that 1966 nickels are not worth collecting. After all, when millions of a coin exist, how can it be rare? The answer lies in the details. While most 1966 nickels remain common in circulated condition, those that survive in pristine, high-grade uncirculated condition are considerably scarcer. Even more rare are examples that display what is known in the hobby as full steps. In the world of Jefferson nickels, the term full steps refers to the sharpness of the strike on the reverse of the coin, specifically, the steps on the base of Monticello. To qualify for the full steps designation, a coin must show 5 or 6 distinct, uninterrupted lines on these steps, without blending or weakness in the strike. Due to the rushed production and worn dies often used during this period, most 1966 nickels do not exhibit full steps. As a result, true full steps examples are extremely rare, especially in grades above MS 64. These coins command impressive premiums in the market. Collectors prize full steps nickels not only for their visual appeal but also because they represent a technical achievement. Striking such a coin during a period of high-speed minting and equipment stress was a challenge. When a 1966 nickel displays full steps and also grades highly, especially MS 65 or higher, its value can climb into the thousands of dollars. From 1965 to 1967, the U.S. Mint did not produce traditional proof sets. Instead, they released special mint sets, or SMS coins. These coins were not quite business strikes, but not quite proofs either. They had a special finish that often included a higher level of detail and surface reflectivity. The 1966 SMS Jefferson nickels are well known for their improved strike and visual quality. While these coins are more common in high grade than their circulation counterparts, what sets them apart are examples with cameo or deep cameo finishes. These coins exhibit strong contrast between frosted design elements and mirror-like fields, when found in top condition, particularly with deep cameo contrast and high numeric grades. SMS nickels from 1966 can sell for hundreds, even thousands of dollars at auction. Collectors of modern U.S. coinage often pursue these top-end pieces to complete specialized sets. While the 1966 nickel does not feature any well-documented major die varieties, the possibility of striking errors is always present. Off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, and other mechanical minting errors occasionally show up on nickels from this era. Such errors, when authenticated and graded, can add substantial value depending on their type and severity. Collectors should always inspect coins carefully for any anomalies, especially if the coin is uncirculated or comes from an original mint SETE.IN circulated condition. The vast majority of these coins remain at face value. They are still found in pocket change and are generally only worth 5 cents. However, things change dramatically in higher grades. Uncirculated examples in mint state condition typically range from a few dollars to about $20, depending on quality and luster. Coins that reach MS 65 or higher become more valuable, especially if they are well centered and free of contact marks. The real jump in value occurs with full steps nickels. In MS 64 full steps, values can climb into the high hundreds of dollars. MS 65 full steps coins often reach into the thousands. In extremely rare cases, top-grade examples with full steps have sold at auction for well over $10,000, making them some of the most sought-after Jefferson nickels in existence. Special mint set examples in MS 67 or MS 68, especially with deep cameo finishes, also command strong prices. These coins are popular with modern proof collectors and represent the finest available strikes of the era. If you're hunting through old change jars, inherited coin collections, or dealer stock, keep your eyes open for the 1966 Jefferson nickel. While most examples may be common, the rare gems, those in high grade, with full steps or brilliant SMS finishes, could be worth far more than you expect. In 2025, the coin collecting world continues to reward quality, rarity, and attention to detail. The humble 5-cent piece from 1966 is a perfect example of how history and craftsmanship come together to create lasting value. In-depth exploration of the 1995 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin, a fascinating piece of American numismatic history that continues to capture the attention of collectors and investors alike in the year 2025. Today, we will thoroughly examine the background, production, variations, rarity, and current market value of this humble yet potentially valuable coin. The 1995 Lincoln cent carries forward the legacy of the United States 1-cent coin that has featured Abraham Lincoln's portrait since 1909, commemorating the centennial of Lincoln's birth. This design, originally created by Victor David Brenner, is one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. The obverse of the 1995 penny showcases a detailed, dignified profile of Abraham Lincoln facing right, accompanied by the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 1995. The absence of a mint mark on this particular coin signifies that it was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which is the primary mint facility in the United States and responsible for producing billions of coins annually. The coin features the Lincoln Memorial, an iconic symbol of American history and a design that has graced the back of the penny since 1959. The intricate detail of the memorial's columns and the wording, "United States of America," e pluribus unum, and 1 cent, are standard on this reverse design and remain consistent across pennies minted in the mid-1990s. The 1995 Philadelphia Lincoln cent was produced in vast quantities, making it one of the most common pennies from the era. The mintage for this year exceeded 6 billion coins from the Philadelphia Mint alone, reflecting the massive demand for pennies in circulation. As a result, the typical 1995 penny found in circulation today is generally considered common and holds its face value of 1 cent. These circulated coins usually show various degrees of wear and toning, which significantly limits their numismatic value. However, not all 1995 no-mint mark pennies are created equal. Among the billions minted, there exist rarer varieties and error coins that have become highly sought after by collectors. These examples command premiums over the face value, sometimes reaching thousands of dollars depending on condition, rarity, and specific error types. One of the most notable and collectible varieties from 1995 is the double die obverse error. This error occurs during the coin production process when the coin's design is stamped twice with slight misalignment, causing certain design elements such as letters and numbers to appear doubled or blurred. On the 1995 Philadelphia penny, doubling can often be observed on the inscriptions, Liberty and In God We Trust. Coins exhibiting this double die obverse are relatively scarce in comparison to standard issues, and their value increases substantially with higher grades of preservation and a vibrant red copper color. Another type of error that enhances the value of a 1995 no-mint mark penny is the broadstrike error. This minting anomaly happens when the coin is struck outside its normal collar, allowing the metal to flow outward and create a broader than usual coin diameter. Broadstrike pennies are prized by error collectors because they are relatively uncommon and present a distinct visual deviation from normal coins. Depending on the severity and condition, broadstrike errors can sell for several times the value of a standard penny. Additional errors that contribute to the rarity and value of 1995 no-mint mark pennies include off-center strikes, where the coin's design is misaligned during the stamping process, causing part of the design to be missing or partially visible on the coin surface. Fold-over errors, which occur when a blank planchet is folded during striking, and overstrikes, where the penny is mistakenly struck on the wrong metal planchet such as a dime blank, also increase collector interest. Some of these errors can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction, depending on their uniqueness and condition. The overall value of the 1995 no-mint mark penny is heavily influenced by its condition, which is evaluated through the process of coin grading. Grading assesses the coin's level of wear, luster, color, and strike quality. Circulated pennies with heavy wear are usually worth only their face value, while uncirculated coins graded from mint state 60 to 70, especially those retaining their original red copper color, can command significantly higher prices. For example, an MS-65 red Lincoln cent from 1995 might sell for several dollars, whereas a pristine MS-68 or MS-69 coin can reach upwards of several $100s or more in the current market. The presence of a rare error such as the double die obverse in a high grade and red color can push values even higher, with some exceptional examples selling for several $1,000s. These coins are highly prized due to their rarity and the dramatic nature of the doubling effect, which is visually striking and clearly identifiable to collectors. As we move into 2025, the market for 1995 no-mint mark Lincoln cents remains robust among specialized collectors and investors who appreciate the historical significance, artistic detail, and potential value of error coins. The increasing scarcity of high-grade, well-preserved examples from this year, combined with growing interest in error varieties, means that prices have steadily increased over the past decade. Auction houses, coin shows, and online marketplaces often feature rare specimens, where knowledgeable collectors compete to acquire these prized coins. For the everyday collector or casual enthusiast, the key to unlocking value in a 1995 penny lies in careful inspection and authentication. It is essential to examine coins under magnification to identify any signs of doubling or other mint errors. Additionally, Professional grading by recognized services can provide validation of a coin's condition and authenticity, which greatly enhances marketability and price realization. The 1995 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin is a remarkable example of a coin that straddles the line between common currency and collectible treasure. While billions of these pennies were produced and most remain worth just a single cent, the existence of rare varieties and mint errors offers an exciting opportunity for collectors to find significant value in what may appear to be ordinary pocket change. If you possess a 1995 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, it is worth examining it closely for these special features, especially if it has retained its original red luster and shows no signs of circulation. Such coins could be the key to entering a rewarding area of numismatic collecting where history, rarity, and value come together in a small but powerful coin. 1982 P. Jefferson nickel. Though minted in massive quantities and circulated widely, this 5-cent piece from the early 1980s has captured the attention of collectors, investors, and enthusiasts alike. But what makes this common coin potentially worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars in 2025? Join us as we unravel the secrets of the 1982 P. Jefferson nickel, its history, rarity, hidden value, and what it could be worth in today's market. The Jefferson nickel was introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel that had circulated for 25 years. The design, created by German-American sculptor Felix Schlag, paid homage to one of America's founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson. His portrait was engraved on the obverse, while Monticello, Jefferson's iconic Virginia estate, graced the reverse. By 1982, the Jefferson nickel had been in production for over 4 decades. Yet the year 1982 marked a significant transition in U.S. coinage, one defined by evolving minting technology, shifts in economic conditions, and changes in how mint marks were used. Prior to the 1980s, nickels from the Philadelphia Mint carried no mint mark at all. But in 1980, for the first time in U.S. coinage history, the Philadelphia Mint began placing a P on 5-cent coins. This seemingly minor change would become critically important to collectors years later. In 1982, the Philadelphia Mint struck hundreds of millions of nickels, coins that were never intended to be rare or collectible. Yet hidden among them were a small number of sharply struck examples with exceptional detail, coins that today can bring serious money on the open market. How can a coin with a mintage of over 290 million be considered rare? The answer lies not in the quantity, but in the quality. While most 1982 P nickels entered circulation immediately and suffered wear, there exists a small subset that survived in pristine, mint state condition. Rarity, in numismatic terms, is often defined not just by how many coins were made, but by how many survive in top grades. In the case of the 1982 P. Jefferson nickel, specimens that are graded mint state 66 or higher, and especially those with the highly coveted full steps designation, are incredibly elusive. Full steps refers to the 5 or 6 clearly defined steps at the base of Monticello on the reverse of the coin. These steps are often weakly struck, especially on nickels from the early 1980s. A coin with all steps fully visible and unbroken is significantly rarer and far more desirable. Coins with strong full steps and minimal blemishes are exceedingly difficult to locate. The rarity is further intensified by the fact that the coin was never issued in a proof set or collector's edition in that year, meaning no premium strike versions exist to inflate the number of high-quality examples that are in circulated condition. This coin is typically worth its face value, 5 cents. Even in lightly circulated grades, such as extremely fine or about uncirculated, the coin may be worth only $1 or $2. But the story changes dramatically in uncirculated condition. Coins that have been preserved in mint state, untouched by circulation, free of heavy scratches or dings, begin to carry collector premiums. A typical mint state 63 or 64 example might sell for between $2 to $5. In mint state 65, prices can jump to $10 or more. However, the biggest jump in value comes when a coin achieves full step certification. A 1982 P with full steps in mint state 65 might fetch over $100. At MS-66 with full steps, that number could rise to several $100s. And if a coin reaches the rarefied level of MS-67 or higher, with full steps and superb eye appeal, it becomes a true trophy coin, one that can bring in thousands of dollars at auction. These values are driven by supply and demand. Very few coins meet these strict standards, and collectors who are building registry sets are willing to pay a premium to obtain the best examples. In a market where condition is king, a perfect 1982 p nickel becomes a prized possession. The first step is to examine the condition of the coin. Is it worn, scratched, or discolored? Or does it appear sharp, lustrous, and clean? Next, look at the steps on Monticello. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to inspect whether all 5 or 6 steps are fully visible and uninterrupted. If you believe you have a high-grade example, consider submitting it to a professional grading service. Coins that receive official mint state grades with full steps designation can command a premium far beyond what you'd expect for a 5-cent coin. Some collectors have even discovered valuable examples in old rolls of nickels, inherited collections, or dealer junk boxes. The key is to know what you're looking for and to have patience. Treasure hunting in the world of coin collecting is both a science and an art, and the 1982 p nickel represents a thrilling opportunity for both beginners and seasoned numismatists. Coins like the 1982 p Jefferson nickel tell us more than just economic history. They reflect the artistry of minting, the challenges of mass production, and the delicate balance between rarity and abundance. This coin, once dismissed as ordinary, is now seen by many as a hidden gem. It also serves as a reminder that value is not always obvious. Sometimes, it takes years for the market to recognize a coin's true worth. Sometimes, it takes an educated eye to see the extraordinary in the everyday, and in 2025, this coin continues to gain recognition, rising in value as collectors compete to find the finest examples still in existence. Whether you're searching through change, building a registry set, or investing in modern rarities, the 1982 p Jefferson nickel is a coin worth knowing, and a coin worth looking for. What other treasures lie unnoticed in your pocket, your drawers, or your inherited collection? Keep your eyes open. The world of coin collecting is filled with stories waiting to be discovered, and values waiting to be unlocked. The 1998 Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin minted in the United States without a mint mark. While the penny is often overlooked as a low-value coin, it holds a rich story and unique qualities that make certain examples valuable and collectible. Today, we'll take a deep dive into the history, production, rarity, and current market value of this coin, helping both casual collectors and serious numismatists understand why this modest copper coin can be worth far more than its face value. The Lincoln cent, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, has become one of the most enduring and recognizable coins in American currency. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the original design features Lincoln's portrait on the obverse side, a feature that has remained consistent through many design changes on the reverse. In 1959, the reverse design was changed to the Lincoln Memorial, which remained in use until 2008. The 1998 penny is part of this Lincoln Memorial series. By 1998, the United States Mint was producing pennies primarily for circulation and large-scale distribution. The Philadelphia Mint, which is indicated by the absence of a mint mark on coins after 1980, produced a staggering quantity of pennies that year. In fact, the 1998 Lincoln penny is one of the most commonly found pennies in circulation due to its massive mintage, making it generally inexpensive and readily available to the public. The 1998 penny was struck on a zinc core with a thin copper plating, a process that had been standard since 1982 due to the rising cost of copper. The penny measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter and weighs approximately 2.5 grams. Its composition is approximately 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, with the copper plating giving it the classic penny appearance. Production at the Philadelphia Mint during this time was focused on efficiency and volume. The mint's operations for pennies produced billions of coins annually to meet the demand for circulation. Because of this massive output, finding an average 1998 penny in circulated condition is not a challenge. Despite the common nature of the 1998 penny, it is important to note that not all coins are created equal. Collectors seek pennies in uncirculated condition, especially those with full red luster, known as red condition, or those with proof-like qualities, even if not officially proof coins. The presence of any errors, varieties, or minting anomalies can drastically affect a coin's rarity and value. Some of the notable error varieties associated with the 1998 Lincoln penny include double die errors, wide AM and close AM varieties related to the spacing between letters in the word America, on the reverse, off-center strikes, and die cracks or breaks. While most error coins of this era are not extremely rare, high-grade specimens with clear and dramatic errors can fetch premium prices from collectors. In circulated condition, the 1998 penny holds only its face value of 1 cent, as billions were minted and many remain in use. However, when evaluating value, condition is paramount. Coins that retain their original copper red color, without any signs of wear or circulation, may be valued between 10 to 50 cents depending on exact grading. Mint state examples graded MS60 to MS65, especially those with exceptional eye appeal or full original luster, can bring prices ranging from $1 to $5. Higher grade coins, such as MS67 or MS68, are more difficult to find and can command prices upward of $10 to $20. Error varieties can significantly enhance the coin's value. For example, a 1998 penny exhibiting a wide AM variety might be worth several dollars in circulated condition and considerably more in uncirculated grades. Dramatic double die errors or major off-center strikes can push the value to the tens or even hundreds of dollars depending on severity and condition. As we move into 2025, the penny faces a changing landscape. With the rising cost of production exceeding its face value, discussions about discontinuing the penny have intensified. The United States Mint has already announced plans to halt the production of new penny blanks in the near future, and it is anticipated that circulation of pennies will phase out within a few years. This changing environment has stimulated renewed interest in pennies as collectible items rather than just currency. Coins like the 1998 Lincoln penny, especially in uncirculated condition or featuring unique era characteristics, are being watched closely by collectors and investors alike. That said, the fundamental rarity of the 1998 penny remains unchanged due to the immense quantity minted. This means that while some coins will gain value due to condition or error status, the average circulated 1998 penny will continue to be worth 1 cent. The market for collectible pennies is influenced by supply, demand, and condition, with premium examples attracting interest but common examples maintaining a steady, low value. For those interested in adding the 1998 penny to their collection, there are several strategies to consider. First, seek out coins with full original red luster and minimal contact marks. Such coins are often found in unopened rolls from banks or from dealers specializing in mint state coins. Second, be on the lookout for error coins, which can be identified by distinct anomalies such as unusual letter spacing, doubling effects, or misaligned strikes. Utilizing a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe can help detect these details. Third, having coins professionally graded by reputable services can greatly enhance the ability to sell or trade coins, as buyers have confidence in the authenticity and condition grades provided. The 1998 Lincoln Memorial penny with no mint mark is an emblem of American numismatic history, representing both the legacy of Abraham Lincoln and the practical realities of modern coin production. While commonly found in everyday transactions, this penny can hold hidden value in uncirculated condition or as part of error collections. As 2025 progresses and the future of the penny becomes uncertain, collectors should consider the 1998 penny not just as a humble piece of metal, but as a collectible with stories and potential worth beyond its face value. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned collector, understanding the nuances of this coin can open doors to new appreciation and perhaps even financial reward. The 1984 D. Jefferson nickel, a 5-cent piece that might be sitting unnoticed in your change jar or coin collection, and believe it or not, in the right condition, this unassuming coin could be worth far more than 5 cents. In fact, certain rare examples have sold for hundreds, even thousands of dollars. So buckle up as we take a deep dive into the history, design, rarity, and current 2025 market value of the 1984 D. Jefferson nickel. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel and continuing a long tradition of honoring American statesmen. The obverse of the coin features the profile of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and principal author of the Declaration of Independence. His image on the coin is stern, dignified, and reflective of his stature in American history. This portrait remained unchanged for decades and was originally designed by Felix Schlag, a German-American sculptor whose work was chosen through a public design competition. On the reverse, you'll find a depiction of Monticello, Jefferson's famous Virginia estate. This neoclassical structure is one of the most iconic buildings in the United States and stands as a symbol of Jefferson's architectural interests and intellectual pursuits. The layout of Monticello on the coin is symmetrical, bold, and detailed, and it's precisely the steps leading up to Monticello that become critical when discussing the value of this particular coin. The 1984 D version of the Jefferson nickel was minted at the Denver Mint, indicated by the small letter D located just to the right of the portrait. In that year alone, over 500 million Jefferson nickels were produced in Denver, making it a high mintage coin by any standard. Because of that, many people assume the coin is common and of no special interest. But that's not the full story. While the 1984 D. Jefferson nickel is widely available, its value is heavily influenced by one major factor: condition. Coins that have been circulated often show signs of wear, including dull surfaces, flattened features, and loss of detail in Jefferson's hair and the steps of Monticello. In average circulated condition, the coin is worth only face value, 5 cents. However, when a 1984 D. Jefferson nickel has been preserved in mint state, that is, a coin that has never entered circulation and shows no signs of wear, the value begins to rise. Collectors seek examples with strong luster, full original surfaces, and sharp strikes. The most desirable examples are those that exhibit what is known as full steps on the Monticello building. These full steps refer to the staircase at the base of Monticello on the reverse of the coin. If the steps are fully struck and show all 6 distinct lines without any breaks, the coin receives a full steps designation, which dramatically increases its value. These coins are rare not because they were never made, but because coins from this era were not always well struck. The striking pressure and die quality often led to mushy or indistinct steps. Finding a 1984 D. Jefferson nickel with full steps, especially in a high mint state, is truly uncommon and represents a key find for collectors. Over the years, collector interest in Jefferson nickels has grown steadily. Although they were once seen as basic and inexpensive entries into coin collecting, the series has gained more respect as collectors recognize the scarcity of high-grade examples with full steps. The 1984 D issue is no exception. While you can easily find circulated examples in pocket change or coin rolls, pristine mint state coins are far more difficult to acquire, and those with the coveted full steps are rarer still. In today's coin market, condition-sensitive coins are increasingly desirable. Collectors are now willing to pay significant premiums for coins that meet strict grading criteria. This is especially true when the coin is graded by a third-party professional service, such as PCGS or NGC, where the grade is verified and encapsulated in a tamper-proof holder. These graded coins offer peace of mind and assurance to collectors and investors alike. As we've entered 2025, demand for high-grade Jefferson nickels has remained strong, particularly for certified coins with high mint state grades, MS66, MS67, and above, and those that also carry the full steps designation. These coins are being sought after not only by Jefferson nickel specialists but also by general collectors looking for quality-type coins or undervalued treasures in the modern U.S. coin market. Now, let's talk about what everyone wants to know: how much is the 1984 D. Jefferson nickel worth in 2025? In circulated condition, the value remains at face 5 cents. That includes the vast majority of examples found in circulation or old jars. In uncirculated mint state, values begin to climb. A standard MS-60 example may be worth around $2 to $5, depending on appeal. Coins graded MS-65 can sell for $10 to $15, while MS-66 examples push into the $20 to $40 range. However, things change drastically when you find an example with full steps. A 1984 Jefferson nickel-graded MS-66 with full steps can sell for over $100. At the MS-67 full steps level, prices can skyrocket, with some auction results exceeding $1,000. In extremely rare cases, nearly flawless examples with perfect strike, luster, and surface preservation have achieved sales exceeding $3,000, especially when they represent top population coins, meaning very few exist at that grade level. These prices are not arbitrary. They reflect true scarcity. Out of the hundreds of millions struck, only a tiny fraction have survived in such perfect condition, especially with full steps. As a result, these coins are fiercely pursued by dedicated collectors and sometimes bought by investors looking to capitalize on undervalued coins from the late 20th century. The 1984 Jefferson nickel is a perfect example of why coin collecting is so fascinating. At first glance, it appears ordinary, a common 5-cent coin with high mintage and no precious metal content. But with closer examination, it becomes clear that not all examples are created equal. A coin's condition, strike quality, and preservation make all the difference between a 5-cent coin and one worth thousands of dollars. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just getting started, the key takeaway is this: always check your coins carefully. Look for sharp strikes, brilliant surfaces, and, above all, full steps. And if you believe you have a high-grade example, consider having it professionally graded, because you never know what hidden gem might be in your hands. The 1997 Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin. This coin, while seemingly ordinary and often overlooked by casual collectors, has a fascinating history and possesses a surprising degree of interest among dedicated numismatists. In this comprehensive video, we will cover the background, minting details, rarity factors, market value, and what makes this coin stand out in 2025's coin collecting community. The Lincoln Cent series is one of the longest-running in United States coinage history, originally introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first widely circulated American coin to feature a historical figure, designed to celebrate Lincoln's legacy as one of the nation's most revered presidents. In 1959, the Lincoln Cent underwent a significant redesign, replacing the original wheat ears reverse with the Lincoln Memorial image, symbolizing national pride and reverence for Lincoln's enduring legacy. The 1997 Lincoln Memorial Cent was produced at the Denver Mint, denoted by the D Mint mark found below the date on the coin's obverse side. The Denver Mint is one of the three primary facilities responsible for striking the vast majority of circulating pennies, alongside the Philadelphia and San Francisco mints. In 1997, the Denver Mint produced well over 4.5 billion pennies, making the 1997 Lincoln Cent one of the most common pennies in circulation today. This extraordinary production volume reflects the heavy demand for pennies in everyday commerce during the late 20th century. Physically, the 1997 penny adheres to the standard specifications established for post-1982 cents. It measures 19 millimeters in diameter, weighs 2.5 grams, and is composed primarily of zinc, with a thin copper plating. This composition shift from primarily copper to zinc core was instituted in 1982 to reduce production costs amid rising copper prices. The obverse features the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, and the reverse displays the Lincoln Memorial, crafted by Frank Gasparo. The design intricacies and historical significance give the coin both artistic and sentimental value. Despite its commonality, the 1997 Lincoln Cent has attracted significant interest due to several factors affecting its rarity and value. The vast majority of these coins have circulated widely and bear the typical signs of wear, which limits their value primarily to face value or a few cents above in the collector market. However, as with all coin series, uncirculated specimens, and those with specific minting anomalies can fetch much higher prices. Among the rarity factors is the existence of certain mint errors and varieties that have been discovered on 1997 D cents. These include doubling of the mint mark or date, die cracks, and other striking anomalies that make certain specimens highly desirable to collectors. One of the most notable examples is the doubled ear variety, where the ear on Lincoln's portrait shows a distinct doubling effect due to a die error. Coins exhibiting this anomaly are exceedingly rare and command a premium, often selling for thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars in pristine condition. The condition of the coin is paramount in determining its value. In the world of numismatics, condition is graded on a scale from poor to perfect mint state, and this directly influences how much a coin is worth. Most 1997 D pennies found in circulation fall within the grades of good to very fine, meaning they have noticeable wear but are still identifiable and collectible to some degree. Such coins generally hold little value beyond face value or a small premium to collectors completing sets. In contrast, uncirculated or mint state examples, particularly those graded by professional services as MS-65 or higher, can be worth significantly more. Coins graded in mint state 67 or above with full original red luster are extremely sought after and may be valued at several $100s or more, depending on market demand and rarity. Additionally, proof-like or specially struck specimens intended for collector sets are often valued at a premium. Moving into the market in 2025, the value of the 1997 D Lincoln Memorial cent remains largely stable with slight fluctuations influenced by collector interest and overall market trends. For everyday circulated pennies, the coin remains worth essentially 1 cent, but uncirculated examples continue to command reasonable premiums. Graded examples in near-perfect condition are regularly sold at coin shows, auctions, and online marketplaces, attracting both seasoned collectors and new enthusiasts alike. An important trend in recent years is the increasing appreciation for Lincoln cents from the 1990s, particularly those with unique characteristics. As many older collectors move on and younger generations develop new collecting interests, demand for high-grade Lincoln Memorial cents has seen steady growth. This has been helped by greater awareness of the rarities and varieties within what once seemed to be a mundane series of coins. To sum up, the 1997 D Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin is a fascinating piece of American numismatic history that offers something for every level of collector. While billions were minted and most circulate at face value, the coin's design, historical importance, and the existence of rare error varieties elevate it beyond mere pocket change. For collectors in 2025, understanding the coin's background, production details, and condition-based value is essential for making informed collecting and investment decisions. Whether you come across a 1997 D Lincoln cent in your pocket or find one at a coin shop, take a moment to appreciate its story. It represents more than just a penny, it embodies the legacy of a great president and the intricate craft of American minting. Keep an eye out for rare varieties, and if you are fortunate enough to own a high-grade specimen or an error coin, you could be holding a valuable treasure. Thank you for joining me in this detailed examination of the 1997 D Lincoln Memorial cent. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing with fellow coin enthusiasts. Stay tuned for more deep dives into the captivating world of coins and their histories. Happy collecting!